We talked every day, and it didn't feel strange at all in the beginning. It felt natural, like something that was meant to happen, like two people who found comfort in each other without even trying. My name is Ava. I am 25 years old, and before he came into my life, my days were simple and predictable. I had my work, my routine, my quiet evenings, and I was okay with that. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't expecting anyone. But then, one day, he texted me. His name was Lucas, and that one message slowly turned into something I never expected, something I didn't plan, something I couldn't control. At first, it was just casual conversation, small talk, nothing deep, nothing emotional, just two people talking about normal things. But there was something about the way he spoke, something easy, something warm, something that made me feel comfortable. And slowly, without realizing it, we started talking every day. Morning messages, evening conversations, late night chats. It became a routine, a habit, something I started depending on without even noticing. He would ask me how my day was. He would remember things I said. He would joke. He would listen. And little by little, those small moments started to mean more to me than I wanted to admit. I started smiling at my phone. I started waiting for his messages. I started checking my phone again and again, wondering if he had texted. And when he did, it made my day better. It made everything feel lighter, and I didn't question it. I didn't stop myself because it felt good. It felt real. And I thought he felt the same way. He would say things like, I like talking to you, or you make my day better. And those words stayed with me. They meant something. They felt honest. And slowly, quietly, I started to care about him, not just as a friend, but as something more, something deeper, something I didn't fully understand yet. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and we were still talking every day, never missing a day, never breaking the pattern. It became a part of my life, something I looked forward to without even thinking about it. And then one day, I realized something. I was not just talking to him, I was emotionally attached to him. I cared about him. I thought about him. I missed him when he didn't reply quickly. I waited for him every single day. And that realization scared me a little, but I ignored it because I didn't want to lose what we had. I didn't want to make things complicated. I didn't want to ask questions that might change everything. So I stayed quiet. I accepted things as they were, and I told myself that it was enough because it felt enough, at least at that time. But then something small started to change, something I couldn't explain at first. His replies became slower, shorter, less frequent, and I noticed it. Of course I did. But I told myself he was just busy, that it was nothing, that everything was still the same. But deep inside, I felt it, the change, the distance, the silence. And it made me uneasy. It made me question things I didn't want to question, but I still didn't ask him directly. I was afraid, afraid of hearing something I didn't want to hear, afraid of losing him completely. So I stayed quiet, pretending everything was normal, pretending I didn't notice the difference. And then one day, something happened that I was not ready for. I woke up in the morning, picked up my phone like I always did, expecting to see his message, but there was nothing. No good morning, no notification, no sign of him. And it felt strange, but I told myself it was okay. Maybe he was busy, maybe he would text later. So I waited. Hours passed, still nothing. And that feeling in my chest started to grow, a mix of confusion and worry. I opened our chat to send him a message, but something felt off. His profile picture was gone, his status was gone, and then I realized something that made my heart drop. I was blocked. Just like that, without a message, without a reason, without any explanation. He was gone, completely, like he had never been there at all. I stared at my phone, trying to understand what had just happened, trying to find a reason, something that would make sense, something that would explain everything. But there was nothing, just silence, heavy, painful silence. I tried to think about our last conversation. What did I say? What did I do? Did I make a mistake? Did I hurt him? But nothing made sense. Everything felt normal. Everything felt fine. And yet, He was gone, just like that. And that hurt more than anything else. Not the fact that he left, but the fact that he left without saying anything, without giving me a reason, without giving me closure. And that kind of silence is the hardest to deal with, because it leaves you with questions that have no answers. Days passed, and I kept checking my phone. Even though I knew he wouldn't text, I kept hoping, even though I knew it was pointless. I kept thinking about him, about our conversations, about everything we shared, trying to understand what went wrong. But there was no answer, just memories. And slowly, those memories started to hurt instead of comfort, because they reminded me of something I had lost without even knowing why. And then one day, I realized something important, something that changed the way I saw everything. If someone can leave your life without a reason, without an explanation, without even saying goodbye, then maybe they were never truly there in the first place. Maybe what I felt was real, but what he felt was not the same. Maybe I was just a part of his time, not a part of his life, and that realization hurt, but it also helped me understand something I needed to learn. Not everyone who talks to you every day stays forever. Not everyone who makes you smile has good intentions, and not everyone who feels close is actually close. Sometimes people come into your life just to leave, just to teach you something, just to show you what you deserve and what you should never accept again. And slowly, I started to let go. Not completely, not perfectly, but enough to move forward, enough to stop waiting, enough to stop checking my phone every minute. And one day, I noticed something. I smiled again, not because of him, but because of myself. Because I realized that I deserved more than silence, more than confusion, more than unanswered questions. I deserved honesty, clarity, and someone who would never leave without a reason. And if you are listening to this, if someone ever walked away from your life without explaining why, remember this. Their silence is your answer. And sometimes, the best thing you can do is accept it, let go, and choose yourself. Because you deserve someone who stays, not someone who disappears. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And always remember, sometimes the people who leave without a reason give you the strongest reason to move on.